All right, let's see if we can test our A1C. Got this A1C Now deal in the mail from Walmart, about $65, something like that. And oh, is that upside down? That was upside down. Anyway, got some instructions that came with it in a big rollout sort of thing with all the languages, and there's some perforations where you can separate. The one for English, there were two of those. I have one lying here where I can look at it. And then, there are four tests. There's one of these in here, and there are on the back some numbers that you have to match up with each of these little pouches. There's some numbers down here on the bottom, and they tell you to make sure that I don't know where the numbers are on this one. This is the thing that inserts in it, and we'll follow the instructions. So it says match the lot numbers. All the lot numbers look right. And then I'm opening the plastic shaker pouch first. So I'm going to open this up, and we have this draws the blood into it as a sampler, and you're supposed to see blood coming down this this tube here, going all the way in to there. And then there's a little stab your finger thingy. Guess you just push that until it snaps, and then there is a little base thingy here. It looks like your pointy end of your sample thing goes down in there. It looks like some sort of a foil maybe that breaks, that it goes into. So that would go down into here, and then later we'll take this base off, and there's a little hole in this thing where it's going to go into that little hole. So let's see if I can totally not foul this up. And it says do everything in order, read all the instructions, that sort of thing. And it even has pictures of the kind of blood sample you want. Don't get it, don't gouge yourself and cover that thing with it. Make sure it goes all the way down through here, not just part way through this stem part here, is one of the things they're showing. And then also don't get it all around the outside of this, so you want to just touch the end of that there. So I'm going to try to do that, and then once you put it in here, then you shake it 6 to 8 times for about 5 seconds, just to mix it in with the solution, I suppose, that that mixes with it. And then we'll open the other pouch, and there's some codes. You want to make sure there's a code here when you open the thing that inserts in here, and you'll see the number will line up on it when you're inserting it into there. And then right here is where the other piece will drop into it, and then there'll be a spot for this to go in where you remove this, and then it deposits the sample. And then you wait. There'll be some things on the screen. It'll say wait, and then when it's ready, it'll say, all right, sample, and then you put the sample in, and then you push, let's see, put it on a level surface, which I've got right here on a little stool. We got to push it down completely to dispense that sample, and then remove it in a continuous motion. And then we'll see the word run will appear in the little window here, and then GC OK, and then however many you have left, it'll say 0. This one does 4, so I've done 1, which I totally blew. So that was about $16, $17 to not do this properly. Let's try to get it right. And then it'll tell you how many you have left in this particular device, how many tests left. It'll either say 1, 2, or 3L. since it does 4, right? When you're down to the last one, it'll say 1. And it's supposed to be 5 minutes to results. All right, let's see how it goes. I may totally destroy the whole thing, but I'm going to kind of do this through the side of my finger to kind of get a good pop here. I always hate this. Good night. Okay. All right, so we got us a good blood sample. So I'm going to try to be careful with it here. I got some light over here. Does it get all the way down in? I don't want to make sure of. All right, it looks good. Looks like it's all the way down in as far as it's supposed to go. I hope that's the case. Looks like the image. It's got to get down to that little square area kind of below it. Looks like it's down to it. Okay. All right. Now, put it in here. Now what it did is break something. You could hear it break something in there. And I guess you hold it this way and then you shake it. Just for about 5 seconds. That's probably plenty then, according to the instructions. All right, so I'm gonna set this down, and then it tells me to open this other package here. So let's open this now, and let's remove this. All right, we got a little desiccant package that comes out of there, and then here's the number, that will line up with the number on this device down there in the corner. But it says to put this down and leave it flat. All right, so I'm going to insert the cartridge down here, and it says wait, and I'm supposed to wait till it says sample, and then I ensure this is on a level surface. Push down completely to dispense diluted sample and remove in a continuous motion. And it shows you putting it in and taking it out like that. I'm pushing it down like this and taking it out. So it's asking for the sample. So here we go. Opening this. I am going to. All right. So when I pushed it down, this popped down deep into there, as you can see. And then now it says 4, 5, 3. So it's counting down. I'm going to put this back in here. I noticed this was a little, there was a raised portion on the collar of it there. That's now down in there, and it looks like some of that, whatever the mixture and all that went down in here. So it's counting down 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So it'd be a long time to talk, but I can do that. So I've been fasting for about 20, let me see here. I got a computer here. Here's my instructions, by the way. We can kind of look over that. Let's see, we've got, stages. So 1, there's what I went through. Got the finger prick. I filled that, and you can see how the middle one has the red line all the way through, and then a little bit of the shaking part of it. And then the next phase was to open this package and insert it into the deal. And then when it says it's ready, you take that base off, and here's where they show you to push it down in and then pull it back out. So it sort of pops down in there. And now we're in this stage where it's counting down. We're at about 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Then we should get us an A1C result. I haven't checked it in a while. Last time I went to my doctor was probably almost 2 years ago. I think it was seems like it was 6.1. Maybe it had been somewhere just over 6, slightly over 6. But I've been on a 30-day fast, and this is actually day 21. And I closed my eating window over the course of a week down to a 4-hour window from 6 to 10. And then I did a 24-hour fast, and then I did a couple of refeeding days. Let's see, our timer's down to 2 minutes now. And then I did a longer fast, a 5-day fast, which was bookended with a dry fast. The first 24 hours, no water, and then for 2 days, water but no food. I think that's right. And then anyway, I ended it with a dry fast as well, a 24-hour dry fast, right near the end of it. So sort of started the dry fast into it a little bit, started at about 8 at night, and then finished that at 8 at night, and then finished with a dry fast right before the end, and then did some refeeding. We're down to about 1 minute, 15 seconds. So, so far, day 21 on Saturday, I'm down 14.2 pounds. I've monitored my blood pressure, my ketones, and my heart rate, and everything's been within a very normal range. I'm looking at some data here on my screen. There's another video where I talked about that. And I'm now in a time-restricted feeding section where it's tightening up. Let's see, today I have a 5-hour window in which to eat from 3 to 8 o'clock. I'm looking forward to 3 o'clock. It's about almost 10 o'clock now. And then that's going to get more restricted tomorrow to 4 hours, from 4 to 8. And then I'll do a 24-hour water fast. And then there's some variations to it. So we got about 3 seconds left on our timer, and it just ran out. I'm looking at it. It says QC0K, and then it says 5.8. And I have to tell you, I don't know much about that. And it says 2TL, which means 2 tests left. So I guess I can pick it up now. It said to leave it flat, and let's see. So it's saying whatever that is, QCOK, and then that's upside down. It looks weird. 5.8, and then whatever that is, 2TL is what it's saying. I'm looking at it in my camera, and it's backward, so I'm not sure why. All right, so that's my test. I'm going to put that in my data so I can have a baseline. That looks good if that's true, because the last time I know it was over 6, and you have to wait a certain amount of time because this measures attachments to your hemoglobin, your blood cells there, and I don't fully understand that, though I did watch a video on that to see how frequently you ought to test. So I'm going to add this into my data, and I've been having a conversation with AI about my fasting, and I have uploaded my data, and I asked it this morning, what if I check my A1C with this? And AI said that'd be a good idea. Let's get us a baseline. So then I'm going to add that to my data set and ask the AI program, so what do you think, and how do I proceed from here?